What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel. Forgive us for being absent for so long.
Yes,
being
it's been
parents
like 2 months.
is definitely not like it has been 2 months. And being parents, literally, I wouldn't say it's been kicking our butts, but it's definitely been a journey learning not only our child but how to operate not only with each other. But just with doing our own separate things, like how to fit stuff in, because we can't live our lives normally like how we used to without a child.
Yes, so it's definitely a journey for us. We're going through the motions and we're obviously dealing with a lot. Like the last month and a half to 2 months has literally been so ghetto. Like it's been so ghetto, and so that's why we felt like we had to.
Shirt.
Yeah, we had to. That shirt is not ghetto, but like we had to come and sit and just tell y'all what's going on. We're not gonna try to make the video too long, but
and I'm sure y'all can hear her in the background.
Yeah, if they do.
Miss Attitude.
Yeah, she's in the back with grandma, but we're not gonna try to make this video too long, but we do want to just tell y'all what's going on. So obviously we wanted to have like a birth vlog and all of that, like how we actually planned, but nothing went as planned at all. So we're gonna explain to you guys cause not even just me. Like
I was just about to say she's gonna give her take on it, because obviously I know you guys this is the mother here. She gave the birth, and everyone wants to know how she's doing postpartum. So I'll let her explain that, and then after she's done, I'll give my take on it, my point of view.
So it's our traumatic birth story. So May 1st was officially the day that my water broke. So officially we went to the hospital May 1st. We went the 30th, but officially May 1st was when
30th, because it was like 11 when it broke after.
But like what they seen. So so we'll say May 1st. Yeah, May 1st officially was when we went to the hospital. We got admitted because my water partially ruptured. So that was good news for us. Obviously, we were super happy. We were on the right track. We was thinking everything was just gonna go natural, how we wanted. No medication, no nothing. Little mamas was just gonna, okay, it's time. And I was 2 centimeters already. So my water broke at 2 centimeters. So we got admitted. We got our room, and it didn't really take long to get the room, honestly. So we got our room. They hooking me up to everything, and honestly the doctors who were there, they were good. They were great to me. They were really trying to keep me on the route of me wanting to have an all natural unmedicated birth. I didn't want no Pitocin, I didn't want no epidural, I didn't want nothing. I had a whole birth plan. The whole thing went into shambles, but I had a whole birth plan, and we was doing good at first. I was walking up and down the hallways, trying to help me dilate more. They already hooked me up to the machines and everything. I don't know the exact time.
It was definitely 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I would say around 12. He went to go get us McDonald's breakfast, came back and everything, everything was just moving how I was moving. I was on the ball. And then I want to say probably around 1-ish, 2. It was him and my mom. It was 3 of us inside the delivery room. And things just started to slowly decline. It started slow, and then it just went fast from there. So my mom was receiving phone calls that my dad wasn't answering his phone. And so obviously she's trying not to freak out, whatever. Something my dad usually do. Sometimes he just decides not to answer his phone. Sometimes he don't want to be bothered. That's the type of person that he is. Then she decided to tell him that, to ask him basically to go and check on him while I'm in labor, obviously. But I wasn't super super-dilated. It would be different if I was at 7, 8. So that's understandable. But to go check up on him and see what's going on. So he left. He was gone for about an hour and a half. He left, and for me, my mom kept going in and out the room, and so I suspected that something was off. But I'm literally at this point in the delivery room by myself. I'm just walking around dealing with contractions. It was just a lot going on. And then it's funny because when he was gone and my mom, she had walked out, the doctors came in and they checked me to see if I was still dilated, if I was dilating more, and they seen that my water was only partially erupted. So they saw a baby in the night, obviously. But yeah, It was only partially erupted, so they broke the rest, and like it was a gush, obviously. So they broke the rest, and now I'm starting to feel more intense contractions and just, you know, I felt like things were like, okay, picking up. So I was still moving around. I was still walking in the hallway and everything. Again, all while he's gone. My mom's like in and out the room. Now in my brain, I'm obviously not stupid, but in my brain, I'm like, okay, my mom she's moving weird. And I haven't called him yet, but I'm just like, in my head, like, okay, what's going on? You know, so at first, I knew something was up because I had texted him first. And he didn't respond, and I said, "Babe, what's going on?" He didn't respond, and like usually he responds quick. If I call him or a text, he responds pretty fast. And so I'm like, okay, he didn't respond. Again, my mom is in and out the room. So then I called him, and then I was like, "Babe, what's going on?" Like, and she's like, "No," to say no. So I'm like, is he dead? Like, tell me. Like, is he dead? And when I asked that, his response when he said yes, my mom was walking back in the room and her eyes were watering. So it was like they answered at the same time while she came in the room. So I feel like from there, the whole progress just literally slowed down for me. Because I feel like things were like actually picking up and doing what they were supposed to do. But then everything just like slowed down. I was like mentally kind of stuck because I'm literally in labor and I'm like, I can't stress out, and my brain kind of was not fully processing it, but at the same time, like, is this really happening? Like, is this what's going on? But again, I couldn't stress out. I didn't want to raise my own blood pressure. Literally, I'm trying to give birth to this child right now. So I went out into the hallway, and I remember I called my friend Savannah, but my mom, she was still like on the phone. He still was at the house, which he's gonna explain the story. He still was there, and then he's gonna explain his point of view. But that was just mine.
Yeah. So hers is a little bit choppy, and hopefully I can fill in the gap. So obviously, we got admitted May 1st, like she said. I was excited because I'm like, yes, I finally get to call out of work because I was tired. It was like, it's time for me to take my 3-month break. I was ready, you know. I definitely was ready. Excited for the new challenges that comes with fatherhood and being a parent. So, you know, our deal with our mother-in-law was we'll go to the hospital, we'll get admitted, and then once we're all ready, my mother-in-law said, you know, when we're ready or whatever, then she'll come visit the hospital. That's exactly what she did. Mm-hmm. So she came to the hospital. I met her downstairs, and she was already in a frenzy, and I was like, what's going on? And she was like, you know, my kids is stressing me out right now because they're telling me that they've been trying to call their father for a while, and he hasn't been answering his phone. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's typical Stanley, you know, because like Stanley either
he picks and chooses.
Turns off his phone when he doesn't want to be bothered, or when he's watching TV and doesn't want to be bothered. Like, you know,
sometimes he just does that.
Yep, and he's done that so many times in the past to where she would panic and me and her would be going over to the house. And he's fine. Either he'll be sleeping or he's watching TV and couldn't hear his phone, or had his phone on mute, or whatever the case may be. He was fine, you know. So, but this time definitely felt a little different. You know, it felt a little different for me. So we get upstairs, and my mother-in-law, she's on the phone with all her damn troop. She's on the phone with her kids or whatever, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so I offered, you know, she asked me, but you know, at the same time I offered to go and check up on him, since I am the closest one. We were the closest ones to him, mm-hmm. right? Because we live in Jersey, okay? So he was in Newark and we were in Jersey City, so I was like, I'm right there. Mm-hmm. So I got in the I got a rental, so I got in the rental and I went over to Newark. So I seen his car downstairs, and this whole time I'm actually on the phone with her mom. So I see his car downstairs. I'm like, okay, he's home. I know that for sure. So I go in the building. I walk all up them damn his stairs. For him being old, he had too many damn fourth.
Well, it's 3, but it's how they do it.
Because it's 1, and then you know when you walk in first floor or whatever. But yeah, I get all the way upstairs. I believe she FaceTimed me.
I did FaceTime him, so I forgot that part.
Yeah.
I FaceTimed him, and he was, because again, we have his key already. We have his key, but the top lock was on, so you can't get in. The chain, you can't get in without that, even if you have the key or not. So I had FaceTimed him. When I FaceTimed him, he was at the door. He was telling me like, I'm knocking on the door, and he was calling, and I was like, okay. And then that's when I was like, I was basically like, let me know. And then he called my mom.
And then called her back. And so I'm on the phone with her, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to be ghetto, because I'm calling his name. I was standing at his door for between at least 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm standing at his door, and normally I'm screaming his name, and normally he would hear me, but I heard the TV in the back, and he's watching TV. He probably fell asleep, but something in me was like, nah, this is off. So I'm like, you know what? While I had the door open, while the chain was on, I'm like, let me call his phone. So I was preparing myself, because if I heard his phone ring while the TV was on, or the phone was louder than TV because that man blasts his TV, I was gonna start worrying, because nothing is bothering this man from sleeping or watching TV, nothing. Right? So when I called him, I heard the phone over the TV. And the TV was already loud, but I heard his phone over the TV, and I said, no, that's a problem. And so I called my mother-in-law back again, and I told her, I said, look, I don't want to be ghetto, but I want to bring it to the apartment. I don't want to make too much noise. And so she was like, listen, do what you got to do. If you get into it with him, whatever the case may be, I'll talk to him and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I literally hit the door. I hit it very gently. I didn't like berserker Viking kick the door down like I was the police or something like that. But I literally threw my shoulder into his door about 3 times. Then the chain popped off. It came out the wall. The mount where the chain goes popped out of the wall. So now I'm in the apartment. So as I'm walking in the apartment, when you walk in the door, the living room's right there. So the living room's empty. It looked just like we left it when we moved out, 2-3 years ago. Right? I go in the kitchen. The kitchen is empty. So the only 2 places that's left is the bathroom and the bedroom. So the bathroom and the bedroom is like catty corner. It's like they're like right next to each other. And so before I looked in the bathroom, I was peeking slowly, because I don't know. I was expecting him to, be in the bed at least, right? So I go in, I peek into the bedroom. It's empty. I saw his phone on the floor, face down, and I'm like, okay, there's only one place left. And I went into the bathroom. When I turned that corner to go look into the bathroom, I found him dead. So when I saw him, I literally just immediately bust out in tears. I was on the phone with my mother-in-law and stuff, and we kind of had that little moment together, and then she got off the phone to call the rest of her children. And so now while I'm at the house, I'm just sitting there like away from him, because I already know the deal with the whole police and everything, not contaminating the scene and blah blah blah, whatever. So I stood in the living room, and I felt awkward, and I was like, I feel like I'm betraying her siblings or whatever, just sitting in here, and mommy's doing all this calling and blah
she's
blah
calling them, but I get it.
So I was just
he spoke to some of them too.
I spoke to some. I spoke to 2 of her sisters, and her brother, her oldest brother. I spoke to him, and he was on the way coming to the house. So I called the police. I had to get myself together real quick. I literally locked myself up, wiped the tears away, and called 911. 911 comes. I guess they thought I was playing, because they sent EMS, and I don't know why they did that, because I said there's a deceased person in the house. Then I was doing a wellness check. So then they called the paramedics. The supervisor came, and then the regular paramedics came. They put stuff on him to double check to make sure he's dead.
Which is crazy, because one thing we did forget is that before he went, my mom actually called for a wellness check. Oh, that's right. We did forget about that. So we called for a wellness check, but they said that they couldn't go inside because of
It's because of legal issues. They was like, listen, we don't want to go inside and do all these other things. We don't want to face any legal issues. So if you guys really want to go and do the wellness check, they suggested that family would go to do basically what I did. Right.
That's what it was, and again, that's what made the panic worse, was because they couldn't go. So that's really, even more of a reason why he went.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah, that happened.
And then everyone else was like so far away. Like I said before, I was literally the closest one to him, so I would beat everyone else there.
So just imagine, like, I'm in labor.
Mm-hmm.
My partner has to leave me to go check on my father. My mom is trying to console everyone, and I'm literally just like in the labor and delivery room, just like
fighting for her life.
Literally trying to figure it out. And then and it's funny because, like, obviously when he was on his way back, like, my body, I told you I felt more contractions once they popped the rest of the water, but I felt like a lot more pressure, and it was like the pain just became like, it felt like it was unbearable. Like, I literally prepped for this whole pregnancy. When I tell you I prepped for it, even though I know there's no amount of preparing when it comes to contractions and everything, but I prepped myself mentally, and like once finding out that happened, it was just like I just wanted everything to be over. Like, I didn't want to be in pain anymore. I just wanted to just like, let's just get this over with. And then the fact that I ended up like giving into the epidural. I had the epidural, and then once the Pitocin after, I didn't feel Pitocin contractions because I had the epidural. So I mean, that was a good thing, because I heard that those are really horrible. But yeah, once he came back, I was even talking to him, and I was telling him, like, I feel like a failure, because the reason why I wanted to have an all natural unmedicated birth was for spiritual reasons. So it was just like, you having medicine in your body doesn't make you less of a woman, but I wanted to do it for spiritual reasons. And so I just felt like I was just like letting God down and stuff. Obviously I couldn't control the circumstances that was going on. Like, finding out
that kind of stress affects the body crazy.
Yeah.
And you can't control how your body responds to trauma or how it responds to injury.
And I was so scared, because I'm like, I don't want to feel like, I feel it, but I don't want to fully feel it, because like my pressure could raise. Like, she's still in my belly. Like, I still want to have a shot at delivering her through, vaginally, and it didn't work. So like, my water was still broken. I dilated to 4 centimeters, which was good. But from there, I stayed at 4 centimeters for a whole 24 hours. Like, and obviously, like, if you know, like, when your water's broken for too long, an infection could set in. So they were very lenient with me with time-wise. Like, they kept checking.
They were trying.
Yeah, they kept checking to see if, like, I was dilating and everything. Like, I was watching my contractions happening. Like, I'm not gonna lie, after having that epidural, like, I didn't feel nothing at first, the first 24 hours, but it was just like my body just was not dilating anymore. And then I got nervous, because now that they put me on Pitocin, it was like, it was stressing her out. Like, her heart rate kept dropping.
Because it was so bad when she pooped.
Yeah, what is it? It's called meconium.
Yeah, something.
I think she ended up
McDonald's
pooping inside of me, but they didn't want her to eat it, obviously. But yeah, like, her heart rate was going up and down, so they didn't turn like the Pitocin up like how some people would have. Like,
they turned it up to like, what was it? Like
they
6
did it like
very,
very, very slow.
Per like every other, like per like 2 hours.
Yeah.
They, like, turned it up very, very, like, incrementally.
Right. And so obviously, it was still him and my mom. Obviously, we couldn't do nothing about it. This is still May 1st. So she was born May 2nd. Yes, she was born May 2nd. And like
1626.
Yes, 426. Yes. So, but the next day, they checked to see if I was still dilating, and I wasn't. And so
it's crazy. Yeah, go ahead and finish that one.
Yeah, they were still dilating, and I wasn't. And so now it came down to I had to have a C-section.
And as they were rolling her away for the C-section, the contractions out of nowhere started popping.
Right. So this happened. So it finally got to the point where now I'm having a C-section. It is what it is. So I'm like, just give me the epidural. Whatever.
Epidural's already in her back.
Epidural's there, but all of a sudden, for some weird reason, when it was time for me to go to have a C-section, right before we left the room, the epidural stopped working. It's like, you press the button. When I tell you, it wasn't working no more, and I felt so much pressure down and literally in my area. I felt so much pressure. It was like from there, it was going to my butt. I was just like, wait. And remember, I kept saying like, babe, please go get somebody, please, because it's not working. I can't go in there like this. And my mom, she was like, I feel like she was trying to come out vaginally, like at the last minute, which it could have. But that, I was like,
You couldn't wait any longer because of, the possible infection setting in, which
I had already caught an infection, and so now they was trying to get her out because they didn't want it to spread to her. Mm-hmm. And so it gave me some strong stuff because when they came back, they put it in like where the epidural was, and my whole lower body went numb. Like the whole thing went numb. But I was just like, I was so nervous because like I never had surgery in my life, any type of surgery. And so the epidural process was fast, right? But when got the epidural and got the C-section, hated how I was laying there. Like C-section had my arms, they made my arms like...
sis was on the cross, let me tell you.
I was laying like this.
That joint pissed me off when I walked in there. I was like, bro, what the f***? You ain't got torturing my woman? Like,
they had to have me like literally laying like that. And the pressure, this is what they don't tell you. You would get the epidural and everything, they could put all the medicine in you. You're still going to feel the pressure of it, like naturally, because you're literally being torn 7 layers, like just trying to get to the baby. And so I felt like the tugging. It was like, it was just like, oh my God.
Sis looked like she was in a Saw movie. Cause they had a partition. They had like this little cloth partition, so they separated her lower body from her upper body.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're not going to show you.
Was, awake still.
Yeah, and he couldn't see it either. It was just more so like a sheet. It. So, because they don't, obviously,
couldn't see it. I watched it. My ass was already going in and out from the, what was it? I think they did give her general anesthesia.
No, general anesthesia.
No, it wasn't, yeah. But they was giving
something
her like Tylenol, lidocaine, and they gave her a very strong dose of Tylenol and lidocaine. There was one more, but I forgot. Mm-hmm. And it got so bad to where one of the other, I guess, assistants, nurses, male nurses, whatever the case may be, he got so nauseous he had to leave, and that he had to get replaced by somebody else. So I'm in there. She was feeling the tugging. She was asking him to stop. The pain was knocking her out. And she's literally in. She's literally in, out, in, out, in, out. I'm just like, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I asked her, I'm like, yo, can I watch? Because I'm sitting here and stuff. And I know y'all said, I couldn't watch it. But she was like, no, most people have weak stomachs or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't recommend, like, don't pass out on it. If you pass out, you gotta go, kind of thing. I said, no, I'm not gonna pass out. I like weird stuff. It's fine. I'm very curious. So I wanted to watch them and make sure they wasn't leaving no tools on my woman. So as I stood up out the chair, because I was holding her hand, I was actually trying to keep her calm. So the first half, I wasn't watching because I was trying to keep her calm because she was still
in the C-section
Yes.
room? Uh-huh.
This was in the C-section room. This is while they were doing the surgery. Mm-hmm. I was with nurse.
He was with a nurse.
I was with a nurse who was very wonderful. And if she ever sees this video, you know I'm talking about you. She was very wonderful. She was helping me keep her calm as well. I think for maybe about the first, maybe 5-10 minutes. Well, no. Maybe about the first 5 minutes.
Few minutes, yeah.
It was actually quick because they cut her open and everything. Then they pulled the baby out. We heard the baby.
It's the closing back that they got to hurry up.
Yeah, they took like 15 minutes to do that. Like 10 minutes to do that, rather. Yeah. So the baby came out. We heard the baby's cries. I started crying. She started crying. Literally, we heard her little scream. So she was like, I want to see my baby. I want to see my baby. So the wonderful nurse that was with me, helping me with her, trying to keep her calm. And I was literally trying to glue her to the table because she was about to rip everything apart. She was like, what are y'all doing to me? I had to hold her down, and I felt so bad because I'm like, she's getting surgery. She wants to know what's going on with her body, but I can't risk her seeing it and
like obviously I'm not supposed to move. Like I was laying there, but it was like it was so.
And she was doing, and I'm like, this girl is strong. Finding out about the loss of her father and everything. She was still managing. Like her blood pressure still was like in a healthy range. Like it was still in the 120s. It barely touched 130. Like it went up a little bit, but then it went back down. It was like regulating itself. So she was like really, really, remaining calm, and obviously with the help of the medicine. So once the nurse brought the baby around, she fell right out. Done.
That medicine
and I'm
was
like,
strong.
I was like, damn.
But he ended up leaving to go be with the baby because we had a conversation on our birth plan and stuff. Go be with the baby. Ain't nobody finna be taking our baby.
And the nurse, she, but that's at the end. She was just like, yo, he was a bulldog because he was not playing. He's like, where's my baby? Where y'all taking my baby? What's going on?
She ended up being in NICU, but he followed her because, again, remember, they didn't want her to have the infection. They had to check and all that.
Yeah, so they really had to go and make sure she was okay. So at the end of it, when they did that, I had to wait a while. She had to get set up in NICU. So I stood. That's when I stood over and I saw everything. I saw them take out her placenta. I saw her freaking stomach wide open. Like, it wasn't like wide open, but they did like a little incision underneath her belly above what women call, you know, their fupa. It was like literally right by her fupa.
And so, see, that's yours. But now back to me. Once it was done, they picked me up like and put me back on. I don't know what it's called. Back on the bed. They put her back on a regular bed to go to recovery. And I was obviously loopy. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was asking them, like, where is he? Like, where's... And he was like, he's with the baby, don't worry, and stuff like. But I'm like loopy.
I was running back and forth, man. Let me tell you.
I'm loopy at this point. And just when y'all thought it was over, it gets worse. Okay, it gets worse. So now being in recovery, even when I think about it, I get nauseous. I'm stitched back up. I'm closed. Come to find out, you know, they come and they just naturally keep checking you just to make sure. And so they came and checked me. Come to find out, my uterus was not put back in the right place.
Just crazy, because I never heard of that before.
I ain't never heard of that before either. My uterus was not put back in the same place. No. So they had to literally go in with their hand, because they're not going to reopen the C-section, you know, after stitching everything back together.
That probably would have killed her, to be honest. I wouldn't have a wife anymore.
And so they went back with their hand and moved it back in place. But then in the process of doing that, they find a whole lot of blood clots.
A whole lot.
And I feel like that's because of, like, you know, when you open the C-section, the air, because it's
everything
cold
is just trying to, it's just everything's trying to heal.
It's cold, so but not heal. Like, more so, like, you know how you leave air open in something and it gets like bubbles?
Oh, like that?
Yeah, like, I think that's what it is. So it's like, you know how when you do a Ziploc bag, take the air out of it. Like,
I just thought your body was really just, cause I know the white blood cells do all of that, but the red blood cells also clot up when there's an injury. Because
that's what I assume. Because, like, again, that's why they close you back up so quick. They have to, because the air, you're exposed to the air. Mm-hmm. So they found lots of blood clots, like a lot. And so they literally had to sweep it out, like going in with your hand through my vagina, past uterus and everything, in your stomach, and swiping it out. Sis, and I'm hearing it and feeling it at the same time. Sis
was elbow deep in her body.
And he was watching this too.
And I'm literally with the little fan just trying to... I'm trying to keep her cool. I'm bouncing all around because they had mad different nurses all in at the same time. They had to get some freaking machine to help suck all the stuff out too. It was a lot.
I knew something was wrong because even before they went inside, it went from just that one doctor, right?
To like 2.
Then they came out and it wasn't 2. It's like 5, 6 doctors that
I was saying 2, then there was like more of them. Like,
they just came in rushing and I'm like, I already know something's wrong. Now they like literally scooping the blood clots out with their hand.
Before that machine came, I forgot the name of it.
Coming out, just and I'm, mind you, I'm still loopy, but I'm in so much. I'm hearing it hit the floor. I'm hearing whoosh, like I'm just hearing like whoosh, just the sound of blood. My stomach was in so much pain, and they had to still push on my stomach to make sure
to get it out.
I was literally crying, like begging, like, please stop, give me a break, please. Child, I had to get a blood transfusion. That's how much blood.
And I was upset because I'm like, I'm O positive, so I'm like, give her my blood. She can take my blood. They was like, oh, it's a bunch of paperwork, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I go on social media, or I go, you know,
and I look on TV, a lot of paperwork,
and I just see people immediately. Yeah, but I seen people immediately just like, oh, yeah, go ahead. Like, oh, I gave my wife my blood. I don't have to do any paperwork or nothing else. Blah blah blah. Because I'm like, we got to do paperwork, but when you go to a blood drive, you ain't really got to do all that, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
I'm just like, bro, what?
Child, I had to get a blood transfusion. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then on top of that, I didn't even see my child till the next day because she was in NICU.
And she was way too loopy on drugs, so she couldn't even get up to walk. So
I couldn't walk.
I'm literally...
He's showing me a picture. I'm just like...
I'm like, yeah, she's out. She's like, let me see a picture. I'm like, bro, I was literally being super dad. I was like running.
He was
back
in
and
NICU. He was with me, then with NICU, then with me.
I'm monitoring the feedings. I'm monitoring the changing. I'm monitoring them pricking her to test her blood, and then I'm coming back making sure she's okay, making sure she's well taken care of, that she's eating, and she couldn't shower and stuff, so I would like try to wipe her down and stuff, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, we was there for like a week. Not a week, but
it felt like
a week.
It was definitely like 5 days, like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it was just a lot, and honestly, like it just kept getting worse. But that's the brunt of everything. Like that's basically everything. Because even us being in the hospital with the people after, like they be trying to rush you out the hospital when you have a C-section. Like that's not a really major surgery. Like we even had to deal with people with that, but overall, like I mean, I'm glad she's here. She's healthy now because she was in NICU. Also, she had jaundice, so she was a little yellow.
That's what they gave her.
So she was under the light.
They call it bilirubin.
Yeah,
like her bilirubin was high, so they gave her the blue light therapy
for 2 days.
It's basically a tanning bed. They put her in a freaking tanning bed, literally.
Yeah, so she was under that, but we were so happy to be able to take her home. It was a lot, and again dealing with the death, and this is what we've been dealing with for the last 2 months, like trying to come back to reality or just deal with reality, like being new parents and just like dealing with that. Like he found him, so I don't even take away from him at all either, and we both lived with him, so we had a relationship with him in that sense. So it was a lot going on, and picking up the camera, we were picking up the camera, but we weren't posting. It was just the idea of just having to sit and edit, dealing with being new parents, trying to get our parenting schedule together, trying not to lose our mental and crap at the same time. Then we had a whole viewing for him. It was just a lot going on, like a lot. And so we're just now trying to like
recalibrate and get integrate back into society.
Literally, like it's not obviously something that's gonna go away. I mean, always gonna grieve. We're always gonna grieve, and it's just really learning life now, our new normal.
You guys already know Father's Day was weird.
Yes, my Mother's, and again I had her
Mother's
May
Day.
2nd. Yeah. That was my first Mother's Day.
Mother's Day was that next week.
Mother's Day was that following week. It was May 11th. So dealing with becoming a new mom, losing a parent at the same time. And then Father's Day came, and I felt like I couldn't give him the Father's Day I wanted because I was still grieving. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot that was going on. And I hate that my baby was born in such a critical time. But, you can always, like, recreate those memories so it don't be so traumatic. But we definitely have a story to tell her about her birth.
Oh, yeah.
We do. So
we got this story of you. I'm thinking about blowing up some pictures and putting them in there. Well, not blowing up, but printing out some pictures, some Kodak pictures or whatever, and putting them in there and start telling her the story.
Mm-hmm. But we're back, guys. Like, bear with us again because we are new parents. So it might not be super, super, super consistent, but the goal is to be. But
we're trying to be. Listen, we're not like super duper professional, especially me because I'm new to this. Yes, she's taking on the brunt of it. And I'm trying to learn how to edit, like to her capacities, to the no, because listen, she literally enjoys this so much. She's learned new editing styles.
But we have to obviously. So
I have to learn how to I basically have to catch up to her and learn the way that she edits for our videos. And then obviously once I learn that, then I'll probably, one day I'm like, oh babe, I'll play with it. But until then I gotta catch up, and then I'll start taking turns so that way we can actually post more consistently. Cause this one right here is strictly titty. You know how people say strictly dickly? She's strictly tittly. Yeah. So she literally is breastfeeding all day. We're gonna get into all of that
routines with her. We wanted to tell y'all this first. This was very important. Like after this, y'all gonna get the 1 month of being.
Yeah, you guys have been faithful followers, so you guys definitely do deserve the story
first.
Yeah.
But that's all for this video, you guys. We don't want it to be too long, but it's probably still too long, but it's okay.
Listen, we had to let y'all know. So thank you for this 24-minute
It's not 24. It's probably going to be like 30, 35, but we'll see.
It's alright.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share. Follow us on TikTok. We be going live on TikTok. We be doing our big one on TikTok. Come on, baby, do like this. One good time. So that is all for this video, you guys.
Later.